Hello, welcome to Drinks with Ron. I'm Ron, and I'm dipping back into the old Milwaukee Light because that's how I do. So I still have the beard going. I've been meaning to trim it for over a week. Usually, I'm not allowed. I don't allow myself to let it get much over a quarter inch. Once you get into that 3/8 of an inch territory, I tend to start twisting it, and I'm like OCD about it. So I'm sure there's probably a handful of things twisted in here now. Yeah, so I got to do something about that. But now it's gotten so out of hand with the beard that I'm gonna take it easy. I don't just want to get rid of everything all at once. So that's when I thought, well, that's where you come in. So I thought I'd leave it up to my dozens and dozens of subscribers. Holy shit, I'm at 88. I still thought I was at like 24. I was using dozens, like ironically, because I thought I had just cleared the 2 dozen marker and was just able to say that. But shit, I'm at like 6 dozen. Almost, I got 7 dozen subscribers. Fucking A. Not that they all watch when it goes through. I don't even know who's active anymore. But yeah, I'm leaving it to you guys. Because any guy who's grown a beard or facial hair and let it kind of get out of hand, this is a thing we've all been through. You go through and you start shaving it up, and you kind of trim this down here and you trim that down, and maybe you leave the mutton chops while you clean up this area, and maybe you take out the middle and go with the Hulk Hogan handlebars, and clean them up a little bit and go with the Tom Selleck or the Ned Flanders, as it were. And then if you're being real adventurous and you just gotta know, you just trim it up into a Hitler real quick, just to see why anybody ever thought that was a good look. But the point is, you gotta kind of try it all on as you go. You don't just go from a full face bush down to nothing all in one shot. So I will leave it up to the viewers. What do you guys want to see? You want to see like the Martin Van Buren, we leave the big chops just down the side with, or the old timey shave the middle out and just leave everything, what is that, like kind of the Lemmy from Motorhead setup, or Big Fu Manchu, or I don't know. What do you guys think? Lot of options. Give me. We'll leave it up to voting in the comments, and then I'll shave it up that way. Why not? I got nothing else fucking going on. I'm sitting in my basement drinking old Milwaukee. Actually, I'm getting ready to bottle some of the rhubarb beer. The batch, the 2020 batch, I switched it to all Citra hops, so I'm kind of excited. I'm gonna put it on tap. I will have 5 gallons on tap. And I'm going to put about a gallon, I'm going to bottle about a gallon, and leave them on the shelf. But I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be nice. Another thing I was looking forward to was having music in this episode, but my hit and miss record player is still in the miss and is not spinning. Because on the platter right now is one you may have noticed sitting in the rack the last few episodes. Sweet Bottom. And boy, isn't it sweet though. I mean, check that shit out. I mean, that's wow. That's just wow. But a couple bucks. I got this from a store in Madison. And the big thing that drew me to it, besides this lineup of grade A American beef, is looked like it was recorded somewhere over by Milwaukee. We got here, actually, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So I thought, oh, that's cool. Like fairly local, regional. I'll take it for $2. And the to boot, I think I was up there for training for work, and it was raining. So I went and checked out, and the chick behind the counters, do you want a bag for that? I was like, no. Oh wait, it's raining. Yeah, I better have a bag. I don't want to get my sweet bottom wet. She didn't find it funny. So I had to do some looking at this, and if I remember right, this is total from recollection, but Yosemite Sam here on the left with the badass stash and killer white guy fro. If I'm remembering correctly, the bass player, and this is kind of like a prog rock. It's very up in your grill, and apparently he was poached by Genesis. So I don't know if his skills on this album really, I don't know how it happened, but it sounded like he was poached by Genesis. And then it was Phil Collins got him. It sounded like he played on a handful of albums with them in the early mid '80s. I'm guessing is probably the stuff you know. I don't quote me, but I would guess that Invisible Touch bass line. It sounds like Yosemite over here. He can really wail. He's a hell of a bass player. I was gonna give you a critique of the album, but I haven't been able to listen to it down here. I could take it upstairs, but I don't really want to put that in the family space. You know, this Sweet Bottom thing's kind of a guilty pleasure. That's one you do down in the basement by yourself with the curtains drawn. You know what I'm saying? So no, I'm not sure. I remember it was prog rock, which is not my jam, but I have a pile of prog rock albums over there. I'm gonna try to sell. I don't know. I got about 10, 15 of them. Anything from Alan Parsons to FM, which is like Canadian prog rock, kind of like very rushy. I don't know if you could be a Canadian prog rock band in that era, and not be rushy, but if you weren't rushy, you weren't doing your job. We'll say that. But my big pile over there, I didn't include the Sweet Bottom. I had to keep it for myself. I think just because of, the cover, man, the cover. That's worth it alone. Whatever I get, if somebody buys it off of me, it's just not gonna be worth what it feels like in here. Look at that. Look at it. Come on. You tell me you're not going to show up in my basement, see that on the platter, see all this fucking grade A beef with all that chest hair on the wall, and you're not going to make me an offer? Oh, with a $2 sticker on there? I bet you come in hot at $5 and just see what I'll say. And you'd be shocked when I turn you down because look at it. Man, that is a lot of white dude afro. And that's my jam. So even if I don't like prog rock, the cover's worth it. It's a good story. Good is a relative term. Just like I say, this is some good beer. It is pretty good though, and a little bit squirrely. Even for a light beer, it's actually got a little bit of flavor. So not terrible. God. It's great hot weather beer. Those nights when it's hot, the sun's just kind of starting to go down, and you got your cans out there, and they've been sitting just a little bit, and they start to sweat. And then you take the can, you crack it, and you hammer half a can of beer in one shot, and you get that burn down your throat. Name that. That carbonation-y burn when you slam a cool beer on a hot night is now known as dispiration. I like that. I've been adding some more words to the dictionary lately. Centaur is a half man, half beast that crafts legislation. I don't know, makes sense to me. What was the other one? Grumbostical. Any piece of debris or sludge that's stuck to a grommet, flange, or rubber O-ring. What are some of the other ones? The old school ones. Combinacious. The ability to do many things at one time, i.e. multitask. Someone who's a great multitasker is combinacious. I coined that one in '98. There's some other good ones, but those are the ones that come off the top of my head. And I think tonight, after we sit through a few hours of dance recital, which is a really poor idea right now during all of this horse shit, but what do you do? Yeah, kids practiced all year. We're gonna put on a recital, and I'm gonna go pay a whole bunch of money and probably have to wear a mask because the governor said to wear a mask now. So now, you know, the other day when I said, hey, hold on, nobody's fucking with your rights. Okay, now if you want to complain about your rights, the governor told you to wear a mask. So, you know, now get out there and flail your arms. I guess I won't give you grief about that, because technically you're right. But the thing that pisses me off is Wisconsin, besides being gerrymandered fucking shitless. Okay, so the governor puts his mask mandate out. Everybody's supposed to be wearing them out in public if you're around anybody who's not in your family who didn't travel with you. So the Republican majority in the state government is, of course, going to challenge this, because they're saying that that's a decision that has to be made on the local level. That a local level gets to set that and they decide. Which, technically, that might be the way it shakes out in state law. I guess we'll find out. I know there was a challenge issue before the ink was fucking dried, so we're gonna find out. But when Green Bay and some other cities enacted this stuff on the local level, oh no. When cities enacted this on a local level, it was challenged, saying they are not allowed to do it on the local level. So basically what they're saying is they're going to challenge any mandate anyone makes at any level, saying that you're not allowed to make it at that level of government. So basically it's a drag your feet tactic, which I don't know what it gains us, but I'm going to say, if you're legitimately trying to get to the bottom of where something like this, where the authority lies to issue something like this, then that's great. But when you're challenging it on every level, man, I said, oh, you can't do that at the state level. Dude, that's what we need, something from up top to put everybody on the same fucking page. That's why this whole thing has been a giant clusterfuck in the first place, is we haven't got anything from anybody up top for the country to say, hey, here's how we should proceed. It's been a series of, that's not my call, that's the person under me. Okay, so then it falls to governors. So then governors do it, and they say, oh, that's not your call, that goes down to these guys. Okay, Christ, the city says you gotta do it. Oh, you can't tell me now, it's my right. It's like, dude, somebody's got some authority here. I might have to actually go through the legislature. I don't know. I guess, like I said, we're gonna find out. We're living in interesting times. It's a hell of a... When I was a kid, I used to think, man, you know, to be alive in the 60s when all this shit was going on, turmoil, and they're trying to hash this out and changing the norms there. And, man, 60s ain't got nothing on this 2020 bullshit. We had the whole 60s, like, since February. We've had most of the 60s. So it's... Oh, fuck. Yeah. I feel by the time we get to the election, it'll be 1972 already. So it's just... God, everything's crammed in there. Time's flying. And so are the old Milwaukees. So, this one's down, which is probably a sign that I should be signing off. So for Drinks with Ron, I'm Ron, signing off.